Yes.
Oh yeah, I played that forever ago.
Yes.
Sorry, what?
We're live. Hi.
Hi everyone.
Hey, internet.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Fire Emblem Light. I don't know. D&D, but it's Fire Emblem, but it's D&D. Fine. I don't know anymore. I've had a weird day where I should have been way more productive, but I wasn't. So who's got journals?
I do. Somewhere.
I'm too hangry to do a journal.
That is understandable.
Mhm.
Hangry is a terrible thing to be.
Mhm.
I had dinner, but I also have cake.
I-
Just like emergency cake.
I have beef jerky.
Emergency beef jerky. Emergency protein.
That's literally what beef jerky is.
Yeah, no, for sure.
It is
Highly portable
emergency
protein.
Highly portable, slightly overpriced, but delicious emergency protein.
Until I can figure out the question of, can I cook pasta like ramen?
I have opinions, but we're gonna find out.
It's softened. So
I don't doubt that it's getting
Well.
softer.
are you of
Question is,
the
will it
opinion that it's just gonna fall apart before it gets to pasta?
Like, just it's like a pear. Like, it's like not ready, not ready, not ready. Fuck you! Too ready. I will read my journal. I will attempt
Very
to,
well.
anyway. Alright. And I'm not gonna... I still don't have a voice for Vezner, and I certainly won't have one tonight, I can tell you what. After meeting Guy Hammond in the Eyrie and feeding the adorable baby griffins, not to mention setting myself up to learn to ride one of these creatures, I found Olena in the library in a cold sweat. She was concerned she would have to teach her students about survival in the wilderness of the Underdark. It's certainly possible, seeing that we haven't read over the entire lesson plan just yet. I offered to take her and Katrin on an overnight trip into the nearby forest to show them a bit about the natural landscape. Katrin also mentioned a water elemental by a waterfall. I imagine that will be our destination. Now, if we could only figure out who this mysterious elf is and what he wants with these so-called waystone fragments. And that's it.
Did I tell you about the Waystone thing?
Was that just you, or were we all there?
Do you understand Elvish?
Was it in Elvish?
Yeah.
I think so.
You're what
I'm a
else?
half
So
elf.
Well, then,
Half
yeah.
elf.
Then you would have. I don't know.
Now I speak a bunch of languages. Shit, I forgot that rangers get a million languages. Common, Elvish, Undercommon, Infernal, Abyssal, and Thieves' Cant.
then, if you were nearby, then yeah, you heard it.
Alright.
Crystal, you got anything?
I can improv.
Go ahead.
So, seems like I've lucked out. First lesson, whatever, is about survival. I don't have to worry about magic, which is great because 90% of my classmates are classmates. What the? Crystal can't think right now. Sorry, guys. 90% of my students are magic users, and I did go to the forest to see if maybe there'd be some interesting spots for them to practice, and discovered a nice little secret about this place. Apparently there's some type of giant water elemental. It's feeding the river. Also ran into two weird students that I know aren't in my class doing weird things. I almost killed one because they snuck up on me. You never sneak up on a barbarian. They have a lot to learn. That's it. That's all I got.
It's good enough. It reminded me what happened last session.
I remembered as I was saying it.
My journal just consists of I don't wanna.
It tracks.
It tracks. All right. So when we last left off, it was later in the day. Sun was going down, and y'all were getting food. And two people overheard a conversation between the two lore masters of Castle Whitestone.
I may or may not have tried to flirt. or plotted to future flirt.
Mhm. So yeah, what were y'all planning to do now? I'm going to assume that y'all have finished eating. And it's getting close for a student curfew. But as you are not students, you are not subjected to curfew.
Yeah, but don't we have to be responsible and make sure that the students are keeping that curfew, or is that someone else's job?
I ain't no snitch.
You are more than welcome to help. Otherwise, there certainly are basically guards that have, instead of guarding the wall, are meant to patrol, make sure people aren't lost, and that students are obeying curfew.
Oh, I'm at my desk. Literally.
You're at your desk.
Literally, not game lit figuratively.
So, should we
Oh,
just
so-
rip the band-aid off,
Hold
guys,
on.
and go into the forest?
Stream, if anyone's watching, forgive me, because I'm about to make things go wonky, okay?
Oh. So, do you mean your character's at your desk, or you're at your desk?
I'm physically at my desk. Kayla.
Okay.
Sorry, this was not working, so I was like... fixing the stream. Okay, we're good. Okay. I realized that I actually take notes in this game, so therefore I would need to have a note taker open, which means I need to have my shit on a different screen.
Gotcha.
What would I do after eating?
So yeah, Celeros has eaten his, for the most part, actually taken his food out of the mess hall,
Boring old Celeros.
and what's his face? Bell something.
Belhandril.
Belhendril. Didn't take any food, but he left. Took his cool, weird obsidian staff with a red ruby stone in it and fucked off.
You wanted to go camping tonight?
I was thinking we would leave in the morning, and then spend a whole day out there and an overnight.
You see, she kind of makes a face at the thought of daylight. Whatever, I'm at your beck and call for this.
Well, I know you're not an early riser. I know you're not an early riser, but we don't have to get started at the crack of dawn. We could roll out around 10.
I literally need only 4 hours of trance. I know, me zoning out. It's a unfathomable thing. But mechanically speaking, some people have used all their hit dice today.
I think we could all use a proper night's rest and set off tomorrow morning.
I'm ready to go whenever. What are you talking about?
I think Olena needs a little bit of beauty trance.
Did she use all her hit dice too?
No, I was talking about Katrin.
I was gonna say, like, Katrin's got 700 hit points left. She don't need no hit dice.
Just a walking sack of HP.
Yes, literal tank.
Does everybody have... Yeah, we all have dark vision. I guess we could theoretically leave at night.
We don't have to if we don't want to. I was just like, Elena will keep making excuse after excuse till we just drag her. Unless you need time to gather supplies for a weekend trip or however long we're gone.
We're not going to be bringing much with us. I plan on living off the land while we're out there.
Wonderful. I'll bring seasoning.
That works.
And cheese, because you can't get cheese off the land.
It takes some time to eventually get there. Yeah, it's true. You don't just pick cheese off of a tree, unfortunately for all of us.
Nope.
All right, so y'all going camping?
I guess so.
I gather my cooking supplies to be able to make gourmet meals. I'm ready to clean these fresh animal kills veteran kills for us.
Hooray.
All right. So you guys pack up your gear, your camping supplies. I'm assuming somebody's got a tent or two.
Sure.
I've
Totally
got
bought
a
that.
tent.
Bezrin does not sleep in a tent.
Do not have a tent.
I have a hut.
Very portable hut.
Yeah.
I am gonna take Shathid with me.
All right, you check Shathid out of the stables. And you guys roll out. The guards do ask for the reasoning of your...
Camping.
The man was like looking down at not a keyboard, a clipboard, ready to write down the answer he received, and then he's just like, he hesitates. I'm sorry, what?
Camping.
Get blank stare. He writes,
You know,
camping.
wilderness, training, hiking, sleeping out of doors, getting back in touch with nature, as one does.
Are you trying to say I look like someone who wouldn't go camping?
No, ma'am. I think it's a little odd, and he just gets like bumped on the back of his shoulder by one of his companions. Like, it's not that weird. They've still got several days before classes actually start.
Mind your own business, Leonard.
It's called research.
And the other guy
I'm not a
waves.
student. You don't need to be asking me questions. I should be asking you questions. Why ain't you watching?
The guy holding the clipboard kind of shrinks down, and the other guy like waves open the gate. And he's like, "Don't worry about him. You're all good to go."
Thank you, Brian. You know, this is why you're my favorite.
My name's okay. Gatekeeper Brian.
Damn, I don't have message.
You can tomorrow.
I know, but the thing I wanted to do was before we left.
Don't have sending?
Nope.
All right, and you guys are let out.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Kayla.
I quickly jot down a note to give to one of the guards to give to the house leader of my house.
And what does this note entail?
Um. It's basically like the teachers and I are going on an excursion. Be good, wink, wink.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Don't throw any parties while your father and I are out of
Wink.
town.
Wink. Doing
Alright.
a lot of things to scratch his back because I think it's gonna pay off.
Yes, bribing students, the best thing to do.
It's
As
called
long
being
as it works.
It's called being resourceful in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so you guys are let out. Your note is taken. And you guys go out into the forest. It is a peaceful twilight right now as you guys are strolling through the woods.
I'm laying across Shathid's back, staring at the stars.
What
Or
stars
the
you can
blue-
see through the canopy.
The blooming stars through the canopy, yes. As the sun sets. It's tranquil music.
What's y'all's passive perceptions at?
Good question.
Yeah, shithead. Mine's an 18.
Okay.
It is
You
15.
just saw what the name of your
Shathid.
boar was?
Yeah,
Shathid.
it's Shathid. You know that vine? Or is it a vine or it's a vine?
It's a vine.
Yeah, I can't, there's new shit now. We got TikTok, man.
I don't know what the kids are listening to these days.
Fuck, I don't know what the fuck kids listen to. That was such an iconic vine. He's shaking his head at me like I did something wrong.
Oh my goodness. You need to culture that young man.
He needs some culture in his life. Oh, you do? Okay. Uh-huh. You get it, son. You get it. Yee yee.
Alright.
Yeah. I can't believe this dude judging me for Shathid.
Professor, what'd you say yours was?
It's a giant flying boar, by the way.
Deidre?
15.
15. 15, 18, and then...
Lens is probably real high. I'm assuming she probably expertise in it.
We about to find out.
Don't tell me I have the highest perception.
23.
Oh, hers is higher, yeah.
Yeah, expertise and perception. Only a 1 wisdom, but hey, being level 20 and having that proficiency doubled will help you out with that.
Dude, Arbella has because she has expertise in it. She has 1 in wisdom as well.
No, I'm sorry. I read that wrong. It's a plus 15.
Yeah, you got 25.
Oh.
Sorry.
That sounds better.
Yeah.
I was wondering why you only had
Yeah, that didn't make any sense. I was doing the math backwards, and I'm like, that
I was like,
doesn't
she did not
add up.
In that case, it's Vestrin and Elena, who every 10 minutes or so walking, catching the corner of their eyes in the canopy, Warden Rangers stalking through the tree line.
Babysitting
I'm
us.
just looking up at the stars anyway.
What am I seeing?
Y'all are traveling through the woods, and
Y'all eat your
Elena's
food.
and Vesrin's passives are high enough for you two to see the hidden rangers of the Warden Order.
Ah, okay.
The ones who like stalk the forests and make sure they're clear of
hmm
exceedingly dangerous beasts or ne'er-do-wells.
This is going to be a sad meal, but a meal nonetheless.
Is it cooked?
Yeah,
Just the knowledge of what it was cooked in
It's
is making
a-
it depressing.
it's a bit grainy. But I have sauce and I have Parmesan cheese.
It's edible.
Might heat it up in the microwave though.
Very slowly.
Sorry guys, I just... Give me a sec.
We just need food.
The struggles of having almost none of your appliances work.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess my question is, where do you guys set up camp? There's the occasional like clearing in the canopy where like the spacing between the trees is large enough where you guys can see the open sky. And Katrin knows of the river and waterfall chain feeding into the main river. So
Yeah, Shathi came with me, so I just like let Shani know that she needed to go. You know, the same way we went, unless Veteran says otherwise, then we followed them.
No, I think camping by a waterfall sounds very nice. The only difficulty would be we wouldn't necessarily be able to hear anything sneaking up on us. But since we seem to be being followed, perhaps we don't have to worry about that so much. What do you think, Olena? Camping by the waterfall for some natural white noise, or in a clearing under the stars?
I prefer the stars.
Stars it is. We'll hit the waterfall tomorrow.
all right. You guys
We
wander.
find a clearing.
You guys wander about looking for a clearing.
You leave Elena in charge. 23! I can do things!
Yes, you can. So Elena leads the way to a clearing. This clearing that you guys happen upon is actually seems to be inhabited
Ooh, friends.
by a single person. So it is a large, like 35-foot in diameter clearing with like a I think they're called like fairy circles, which is like a collection of like naturally growing flowers that like form that like, all like grow into a perfect circle that were said to be like places of like fae activity. I'm talking like IRL, like you can look this up.
Yep.
No, yeah, I think it's mushrooms.
Well, in this case, it's flowers.
It's prettier.
Yeah. In the center of the fairy circle is a sword stuck into the ground. So blade down, stuck into the ground, and what looks like some kind of bow sitting next to it, and they appear to be glowing. Sitting in a kind of meditative stance on the outside of the circle, you see the ranger captain.
Oh, what's her name?
Mistress Evelyn.
Thank
Yes. Mistress Evelyn, ranger captain of the order.
That's exactly what I have. Do we want to find a different spot?
But has she noticed us? I imagine she must have.
If she has, she's not showing it.
We could, but I'm intrigued by that sword. Is anyone else intrigued?
I'm intrigued by more than that sword.
Keep it in your pants, Katrin. Well, go on, and I push Veshin forward.
Right. Makes no attempt to be stealthy, which is perhaps somewhat unnatural for them.
Just like purposely stomp,
Yeah.
stomp.
Maybe being a little noisy on purpose. Just sort of quietly calls out, evening.
You hear a soft good evening.
Didn't mean to disturb you. We're just out having a little sort of a camping trip, some of the instructors and myself, and I'm not that familiar with the woods. I've never seen this clearing or that sword, or I think you by yourself in the middle of the night. So these are all new things.
Yeah, well, this clearing is fairly secluded away from most of the more beaten paths in this forest, so I tend to come here to meditate. It also makes a good place to recharge my weapons when the moon is full.
Oh snap! Is it a full moon?
It's not a full moon, but it is. It's close.
Recharge? That's your blade?
And the bow.
What influences did the moon have?
These are not quite relics, but where my people came from, we paid a sort of homage to the old gods that our race used to worship. And she pulls out the blade and picks up the bow. These were made in the image of the weapons used by the old elven god who is only referred to as he who dances in the dark moonlight. He was a god of hunting and death in general.
I think I saw a play with that line.
Deidre needs to know, what race is Mistress Evelyn?
Elven.
Oh, I thought she was human for some reason. I may have just never asked, honestly.
Nope. Not human.
Okay. Time in.
Full-blooded elf. Specifically, what elf?
Also, meal is less sad now.
Okay.
It's hot, and I added cheese curds.
There you go.
There's a tradition amongst a lot of wood elven cultures to have facial markings. She does not have any sort of like tattoo, like facial tattoos or markings. But she explains that her weapons gain a sort of power when exposed to moonlight for extended periods of time. Makes them more potent.
You're lunar powered.
Interesting elven technology.
Mm-hmm.
They do like to keep their secrets, don't they?
She refers to them as pale reflections of the old god's moon bow and crescent moon sword.
I'm looking out towards the forest, mostly just to have my back towards Mistress Evelyn so I could just roll my eyes and go, ah.
Scoffing at her shared cultural history that has now been lost.
I'm a drow.
They all came from the same race at one point.
I know.
And veteran, you hear like she says it pretty quietly, but she says it in kind of like a sad tone as she sees the swords, like something along the lines of like so much culture lost. She clearly didn't intend for anyone to hear it, but because you've got a wicked passive perception, you hear it. Elena is too busy being culturally insensitive to hear what she said.
What, a passive 23 doesn't hit it?
Bezrin does not roll their eyes, but says, well, perhaps if the elves didn't spend so much of their time thinking they were better than everybody, we might be more interested in learning about them.
She gives the she draws the bow, like she pulls back the string into like a test, and then gently loosens it.
Do not dry fire the bow.
No, she knows better. You better believe she knows better. And then she doesn't. So she sheathed the sword, but she doesn't sling the bow across her shoulders like you might when you're going out, without the intent of using it. But she walks away from the circle, kind of towards you guys, but like eyes kind of straight forward, like she's gonna walk past you all. And she says, "If you have intentions of camping, just clean up your trash when you're done."
We'll leave it better than we found it.
Yeah, because that way people can't track that you've been here.
And she just kind of like, before she hits the tree line, she just like gives one last look up to the sky before she goes underneath the canopy. And Lena and Vestrin, you understand it. Catcher, you don't understand the Elvish, right?
Nope.
Okay.
She can teach me though.
Yeah. She mutters to the sky, "When the Dark One dances, so shall I." As she draws an arrow, and next thing you know, she's just gone. Like you felt like a breeze, like a heavy breeze go by, and she's like, and she kind of muttered it, like it was very hard to hear. Like Captain probably barely even heard anything besides but wicked high passive perceptions.
Did she say she needed to change her pants? Say she shit herself? That's what I think I heard.
You're close.
So yeah, that's that encounter done.
So what did she leave behind, other than fairy circles?
She didn't leave behind anything.
Oh, okay.
There's a
She
slight
ate
indent
the
in the
rainbow.
patch of. There's a slight indent in the grass in which she was meditating at. But that's slowly, like the grass is slowly beginning to rise
Should
as it regains its
we
normal
find
shape.
a different spot since this is so secret?
We could. I'm sure there are plenty of other places that are just as good. And not full of mysterious flowers.
Can I roll something for Shiki to see if she's trying to eat the mushrooms? Flowers, whatever they are.
What a roll to eat flowers.
Just see if she will. Because you know it's sacred, so maybe she knows better. Or whatever.
Do boars eat flowers?
This one does.
This one eats everything.
Sure. I don't care what you roll.
Truffles.
Roll something.
Roll a truffle roll.
Roll for truffles. So there are no truffles. As Shathid is just like her snout in the ground, or like brushing along the ground. Just like you hear her like huffing.
No truffles here, guys. We better keep going. Isn't that what we're doing?
I mean, that's an added bonus. If we find them.
I also misspoke the phrase. It's not the dark one. When the dark one dances, it's when the bright one dances.
That sounds less ominous.
Yeah. Agreed. It's like, is she evil?
Alright, I found this campsite. You find the next one.
Very well.
Unless you want to do the waterfall.
I don't know. I like the idea of camping somewhere a little quieter. We can really hear the forest.
All right. You guys keep moving. You find after like another 30 minutes of wandering through the woods, Vesser and you begin to like follow like certain tree patterns and come across another clearing of trees. This one's smaller. It's probably about 25 or 20 feet and has no fairy circle in the center.
This seems slightly less sacred.
There are a few kind of like patches in the ground, like some was dug up and then filled in. And there's the odd like tree stump in the clearing. So clearly this was full of trees, but some trees got cut down. Some of the trunks were removed and the holes patched in, and others weren't. The tree stumps that remained are like clearly very old and covered with moss.
I don't know. Looks pretty comfortable to me. I'm happy to set up here.
Any truffles?
No troubles.
Damn.
Does
You need to roll.
Will Shathid do the truffle shuffle when he finds truffle? They.
She will have to put my hand in there and hopefully not lose a finger. We set up camp. We do shit.
Oh, do you now?
Yeah, we do.
All right, then you guys set up camp.
DM.
Nothing, I guess.
Exactly.
Just let
Moving
it
on.
happen. It's fine.
So Lena gonna lay on the ground?
I'm not tired. I don't lay anywhere. Except a
That's
bed.
fun.
So whatever Vesson is doing to prepare camp, I have my unseen servant helping as I unpack my instruments from my bag of holding.
She brought her instruments. That's funny.
Of course she did. It's perfect.
Which instruments did you bring?
All of
The
them.
loudest ones.
I have
Which instruments are those?
I have my violin, I have a lute, and I have a flute.
A lute and a flute.
Mhm.
All right.
I will not sing any particular song with that lute.
Aw, dang.
It's been in my head for days.
Right? It's catchy.
Almost
Didn't need to be
started
that
it.
catchy, but it's super catchy.
I hate it because it's punny and it's bad punny.
It's very punny.
Bad punny. Like the Elf on the Shelf part.
Mm-hmm. It's bad.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's great in every way.
Uh-huh.
But Yaskier is a pile of shit, so I'd expect nothing less from him.
Why is he a pile of shit?
He's my stupid bard's son. He's an
Oh.
idiot, and I love him.
Yeah.
He is an idiot.
Took me a while to figure out that Jaskier is dandelion in Polish.
That makes sense.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's why he's called Jaskier. And not
Huh.
dandelion.
Or as the narrator of the audiobooks like to call him, Dandelion.
Oh,
Yep.
no, I hate it.
I refuse to listen to the audiobooks now.
Thanks, I hate it.
He's generally pretty good, but the one thing that always irked me was how he pronounced dandelion. Dandelion.
Dang, Dillian!
Dang it, Dillion.
Back at it again. Damn, Daniel.
We've been camping before in the Underdark, so I do make an effort. And I suppose we discuss some of the things we can... Ugh, human contact. I saw that crystal.
People.
Ugh. Hugs goodbye? Who does that? I'm sure we're discussing, like, things to... Coming up with a lesson plan for camping with the students. Ugh.
Oh, look at that.
And she says she hates children. She's molding a new
Isn't that
generation. And Crystal's like, as you were. Aw.
So, Ian, in this Underdark, is there, like, Zerkwood, or whatever it's called, that weird mushroom-like tree that they have? In, like, Faerun and stuff.
Zerkwood.
Yeah. I think that's what it's called. It's like a huge mushroom that is wood-like in the Underdark.
That's exclusively in the Underdark.
Yeah, but does that exist in your Underdark?
Yeah.
Okay, so then
Well-
we would have been able to build fires using it.
Yeah.
Okay.
but all around you are just regular old trees.
Yeah,
Don't ask me
we're
what kind of
making-
trees because
We're
I don't
making
know.
comparisons to our camping days in the Underdark.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what Vezrin would be adapting knowledge-wise between what we did as an adventuring crew in the Underdark and what we're doing now.
We actually get to see the stars.
We do.
So one of the things I like about this is the fact that you can see the stars. I kind of like the stars.
They don't shine as bright as you, my dear.
They don't shine as bright as me, is what you said?
Yep.
Oh. Well, thank you.
Katrin, that was downright sweet.
I mean, they are many, many, many miles away, and therefore, if I was right next to them, I'd be dead.
Yep. That was the one time I was gonna be nice and you ruined it, and then she like rolls over and goes to sleep.
Oh, you're sleeping already.
Why not?
I thought
8
we
hours
were
apiece, you know.
going to tell stories.
Tell your story. I have no stories to tell, really.
Well, maybe tomorrow night then.
Tell your story!
I have no story. I was hoping you guys would tell stories. That we would be sociable
What,
for
like
once.
campfire stories? Is that, like... You have campfire stories?
I
Vezrin?
just wasn't expecting us to set up camp and then just be like, good night. Sorry, I am the night owl of the group.
I was offended because you did not accept my compliment.
I accepted your compliment. Fine, go
I'm
to
trying to
bed.
think. I'm sure Vezrin does have stories, but they're probably just boring things like, there was a bear once. I followed it for a while. It was pretty cool.
Do we want scary stories, or do we just want, like, just...
No, you can go to sleep.
I'm not just tired.
I mean, you did have a long day. You battled a lot.
That was easy. Could have done that 2 more times. There's this one time before I met you guys that when we were in the Underdark that we had to fight this like giant burrowing worm, and
Was it a Tarask?
no, it was a giant boring worm.
Oh, I thought that was a euphemism for something.
No, it just was, you know, a worm that burrowed underground.
Was it purple?
Anyway, everything looks purple in the dark.
True. Continue.
Well, it wasn't like we've seen some around before. Like, it was where we were stationed. There was just like a high population of them and stuff. So like, I bet one time with my group that the soldiers that I was commanding, that I could gut the thing from the inside out. So I let it swallow me whole, and then I burst it out of its asshole. Won a lot of money.
I saw that in a play once.
Let's just say it's a little more painful than you would assume. Like, I know that I'm cutting through all the flesh, so it's not like it's pushing me out, but there's a lot of acid. That wasn't something I took into account for.
Yeah, the whole being digested part
It was
of the deal.
really interesting to, you know, play chicken with the burrowing worm, though, just to then whoop. Very disoriented.
And
Lovely.
you won a bet by doing this?
Yeah. They said I couldn't do it, so I did it. It wasn't like a full-grown one. It was like probably adolescent or something.
Well, I can't say I've ever been buy anything, so I'm not sure my stories really stack up.
Sorry, guys. That just was what popped in the top of my head.
No, it's fine. I just start strumming on my lute, just like some like soft music to go to sleep to. Kind of like this music, except lute wise.
Well, this seems like a much more peaceful place than the Underdark, but old habits die hard. Olena, do you want to take first watch and you can wake me in a few hours and I'll take over?
Sure.
Alright.
Good night. Like literally, she falls immediately on Shathid's side and passes out in seconds because she's one of those people.
All right. Cool. I guess make a perception check during your watch. So, nothing seemingly out of the ordinary. There's the occasional wandering animal, but they're mostly like omnivores or scavengers, like nothing predatory. The forest is alive with the sounds of nocturnal animals. You hear the occasional owl hoot. But other than that, nothing really exciting happens during your watch. Just more of a calm night in the forest.
I get closer to Vestrin and I start playing the lute softly, and it gets a little louder until she rises from her sleep.
Vestrin, the sounds of lute invade your dreams. As you begin frantically searching through a dungeon that you've been single-handedly clearing out full of faceless bad guys, and you're wondering who the fuck is playing that goddamn lute? And then you wake up.
Coin to your ranger, oh valley of Vestrin.
Why?
Time to wake up.
Alright. I'm up.
She
It legitimately happened at my old house where my mom was in the living room playing the flute, and I was still asleep, but I could hear flute in my dreams, and then I woke up.
I find my spot that I've been sitting in, and I'm just like, okay, good night, and I just go whoosh, tidy it up.
Tiny hut. After a minute of casting, you are completely engulfed in a tiny hut. Do you purposely cast it so that you're the only one in the sphere?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know that they wouldn't want to. She's got Katra's got the Shathid, and Vestin's going to be awake, so they would most likely be keeping a lookout.
Vesrin, make a perception check.
Yup.
So, very much the same kind of deal for Elena's watch, where it is pretty uneventful. One instance catches your eye, though, as a flock of birds eventually passes overhead.
They're Canada Goose.
Nope.
Canada Geese going in a V.
Nope. No geese. But they are not nocturnal birds, so the fact that there is a flight of them passing overhead.
Yeah. Like a flock of small prey birds.
Yeah. But you didn't hear any, like, inciting noise that would have scared off an entire flock of birds. So wherever these birds came from, it was outside of audible range of any sort of happenings.
Alright. I would just like to make a note of what direction they appeared to have been coming from. And just sort of silently mark that.
I'm having to, like, pull up my mental map and then invert it. Probably east to west.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry, west to east. I think. One of those two directions.
As long as you're okay with me saying, I go in the direction the birds came from, we're fine.
Okay. So you get up and you wander off towards...
No, I'm just saying, like, if we get up
Okay.
in the morning and I want to just know which cardinal direction the birds came from, you don't have to tell me which one it is, as long as we can agree that Vezrin is aware of what direction it is.
Right. Cool.
And yeah, they take their watch, and then they hesitantly shake Ketrin awake.
Poke her with a stick.
Oh, there's definitely stick poking.
Oh, I was gonna roll over and try and like force cuddle.
No. Vezrin is aware that you constantly have rage going, so they're like,
Oh, I don't when I'm asleep because I
Yeah.
can't. I can't when I'm asleep, so I wake
Right.
up.
But as soon as you're awake, you can turn it on.
Oh yeah, in a bonus action.
Sorry, I just saw something on Tumblr. It says I could make a character who's Grey Ace and name them, deep inhale, Grace.
You think I didn't already do that? Have we seen Grace exhibit any sexual intention toward anybody?
Nope.
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 Yee.
Just has a friend crush on Zelda.
Oh.
No. All right.
Yes, poke, stick poke.
Katrin, you see the elaborate tiny hut dome I erected.
And I cuddle back up just to eat 5 more minutes.
Vezrin, who has a very accurate internal clock, counts for exactly 5 minutes.
She like grandma shuffles to where the fire pit was and starts to make coffee.
You're just going to make coffee for your watch?
I mean, it's the last watch, so this is her waking up.
Alright.
See anything interesting?
Something startled some birds. Coming from that direction. Normally should not have been out and about at night, so if we do head that way, we'll have to keep an eye out for something a little, maybe big or noisy. Hopefully we'll hear it before we see it.
I can do my thing for 3 miles and see if I can get any vibes if you think it was close enough.
Not sure. I can't say for certain that I know how long they were flying for. Could have been. It was further out than I could hear it, but I don't know how far that would be exactly.
Okay. Should just drink some coffee then.
Bezrin rolls over on the bedroll.
All right.
Great.
Katrin, you begin to boil a little like portable pot of water. Then toss some ground up coffee into.
It's my rage juice.
Rage juice. Excellent. And now we play a cutscene.
Uh-oh. Teacher's not here.
Oh, I hadn't noticed. Do you want to take a real quick 10-minute break?
Yes, I do.
Okay, because I do need to use the restroom. And then we'll continue when we all get back.
Cool.
All right, we will be right back after this short break with no commercials because we don't have advertisers.
And we're back.
And we're back. Ready for Ian to read off a piece of his novel that he's not writing? All right. So, screen fades to black as Catherine is making coffee with the tag about 4 hours ago. Then it fades. And there are 3 warden rangers crouched down into the bushes looking at something. A heavy breeze goes by that they recognize as the mark of their leader entering. They turn and they greet the ranger captain, and they inform her of the situation. 3 humans, male, adults. They're definitely matched the description of the bandits in the area. We tracked them this far, and it looks like they're about to reach their base. That's just their little camp. That's a couple 100 feet past this wood. The ranger captain simply says, "And what are the people in the camp?" 15 all in total. Most of them are asleep, and the others seem to be preparing to leave. Don't know where they're going or why they're leaving, but they appear to be packing things up. She fiddles with the arrow in her hand. They'll be going nowhere tonight. Move out. You all know what to do. Yes, Captain, they say in unison, as they disappear into the trees. She knocks the arrow in her hand and aims it up high into the canopy. She whispers in Elven, "Now we dance," as she lets the arrow fly. We cut to the 3 human bandits traversing through the forest. Oh, God. Why do we have to keep... Why are we, us 3, us specific 3, always the ones having to go around and patrol this goddamn forest every single night? Sometimes a man just wants to sleep. It's like, and every night we get to hear about your inane bitching and whining the entire time we're patrolling. For the last time, shut your gob! The 3rd human just says, "Would the both of you just please quiet down? We know that they've got patrols to these woods. Do you want to let the entire fucking castle know that we're out here?" He turns back around and keeps moving forward before shaking his hands in front of his face and sputters like, "Ah, what the? Is that a spider web?" Ugh. He moves forward a little bit, recovering his stance from his little flailing, as his 2 companions chuckle at him. Before eventually he stops moving. Or was stopped. He's confused. He felt a tight pressure around his neck. He feels around and there's something constricting. Before he can say a word or think anymore, the thin wire looped around his neck tightens as he is pulled up and off the ground into the canopy. Hanging like a man being executed. He begins dangling. He dangles above his companions and flails wildly, gasping for air as the wire constricts his airflow and cuts into his flesh. His companions panic, not knowing what the hell's going on. One of the companions stops. Stops everything. A thud is heard as he hits the ground with an arrow pointing down to the top of his head. The third companion, now thoroughly panicked, stands there frozen in fear, not knowing what to do, before he just runs. He runs as his dangling companion is pelted with arrows. And the bushes rustle with the sounds of heavy footsteps moving through them. At the bandit camp, the bandit captain continues barking orders at this point, whoever will listen to him. Commanding that things be put away in such a fashion, or no, you're not doing it right, you gotta do it this way. And a means of making himself seem more important than he probably actually is. But all activity in the camp is stopped, as the one surviving bandit on patrol frantically comes running out of the tree line, screaming at ghosts or monsters in the forest that killed his two buddies. Everybody is confused. What are you talking about, ghosts? Ain't no such thing as ghosts out in these woods. Before the bandit who escaped the pursuit falls forward with an arrow sticking out of his back. The rest of the bandits, startled by this new strange happening, rush for their weapons as they begin to prepare for whatever sort of threat is now apparently actually facing them. But many of them don't even reach to their tents, as one by one bandits begin falling down left and right, with one or several arrows poking out from right in between the joints of their armor. The bandit captain reaches for his battle axe and orders everybody still alive and with a weapon to form ranks. But it's already too late, as the Warden Rangers have already entered the camp and have begun to systematically kill each and every one of the men under his command. Blades can be heard clashing into each other before the pained screams of his subordinates are heard over. The bandit captain rushes forward to help his men, but is stopped midway by a single figure in heavier armor than the rest. The figure draws two swords, one glittering in the moonlight, and the other a small short sword. The captain barrels all sorts of threats and curses as he lunges forward and slams his axe into the ground, barely missing his foe in front of him. He swings wildly at his opponent. It's never seeming to actually connect to anything. He begins to become enraged. Why isn't this working? Why aren't you dying? He screams. Finally, he lands a single blow, a massive cleaving strike down the shoulder of the person in front of him. The form crumples to the ground as he raises his axe in victory. The sense of victory soon lost, as whatever he had just hit begins to merely dissolve into a plain pile of dirt and dust. Confused at why his opponent seemingly just disappeared after he killed them, his thoughts begin to rush with another sense of confusion as his sight blurs, and suddenly his perspective is different. He wasn't just looking at this tree trunk 2 seconds ago, and yet now he stops thinking altogether, as his brain processes finally stop, realizing that his head has been just taken off by a clear arrow. The figure, standing now behind his still standing corpse, lowers her moon bow. The shot from her bow powerful enough to take the man's head clean off his shoulders. She looks out and sees the now ruined bandit camp bleh, as her well-trained rangers clean up what little and pitiful resistance there was to begin with. Overkill? Most definitely. But she remains confident in the knowledge that with such a display, and the heads of their companions sent to whatever next camp exists, that they will not be making any further movements towards the castle, lest they befall a similar fate. That's it. The cutscene ends with a flock of birds being startled by the noise.
I had a weird dream during that trance. Ugh. Is that the sun coming out? I put on my shades.
Katrin smacks a spider off her arm. Fucking spiders.
What's wrong with spiders?
I don't like them.
They're useful beasts.
Really, mostly harmless. Quite helpful.
Don't like their webs. Blech.
So what's on the docket for today?
We are going to rustle up breakfast. And no, coffee doesn't count as breakfast. We need a proper meal.
I'm eating jerky.
Jerky doesn't count as breakfast. We need a proper meal.
You at least need to be able to tell your students what they need to do for you. That way, they can learn, and you can just watch them.
Right? Fake it till you make it. If you can learn just enough that you look like you know what you're talking about, that'll get you by.
Well, I shall observe you then.
And I imagine Ezrin reuses the setting snares for rabbits trick that they taught to their students. Poor darlings, whatever, a day or two ago.
All right. Go ahead and make a survival check.
I think it was literally yesterday you taught them that.
Was it this? Was it all the same day?
I think it was
Yeah.
because
It might have been yesterday.
or it was the day before because I can't remember. I think it was because I thought what I did for my first day for students was the pit.
Mm.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that was first day.
Wibbly wobbly.
Timey wimey.
Mm-hmm. Stuff.
All right. Yeah, you set your snares at just the right places. You're searching through the woods, you find little like pieces like bent broken sticks or bent grass that indicate like this are commonly traveled pathways for a small game. And you set your snares. And you come back just a little bit after, and you come back to find your snares full of now dead rabbits.
Yeah, these are not the harmless snares.
Nope.
Um, so they would bring the rabbits back to camp and demonstrate how to skin a
Well,
rabbit.
I
And
should have been saying I have been following you and watching.
oh, you've been okay. So then Vezran would have been pointing out like these are the signals that they've probably moved through here. Here's what you look for. Here's dirt out of place for their little footprints. Blah blah blah. Um, and then Katrin might know this already because she's a bit of a cook, but Olena probably doesn't have a lot of experience like dressing game animals. So
Yeah, Katrin can get her hands dirty and help you with cleaning all the animals and stuff, dressing them.
Prestidigitation.
Part of me just imagines the animations in Red Dead Redemption 2 where Arthur just picks up a rabbit and literally with like one big tear just tears off the entire skin.
Does he even cut it?
I can't remember. I don't think so. I don't think so for rabbits.
Because you can like whenever we're cleaning deers, you can if you get it around the back legs, you can literally just yoink.
yeah, that's my impression. Is if you make like one long cut, then you theoretically can pull
Yeah.
most of it off.
Especially if you're not like using the pelts. But if you are using the pelts, sometimes you're a little more careful how you extract shit. Yep. Good old hunting.
I say this as a person who's never done it. And Vezran offers their dagger and one of the rabbits to Olena. Do you want to try? So you can
I
demonstrate it.
make an attempt, but I'm prestidigitating as I'm going.
Just like.
Thing is, you're gonna have to get your hands a little dirty. It's better just to get it over with and then prestidigitate your hands afterwards.
I'm not saying she's like ew yucky. She has like
It's pretty gross.
she's been messy before. Like a lot of it is a front.
It's definitely not a problem to be like, ew, gross, though, because it is messy, just saying. Gotta get their guts out and all that nasty stuff.
It's been a while. Let's see how well I do.
Hey!
Yeah, good. Yeah, you successfully skin and dress your first. I'm assuming your first animal.
She's had to survive on her own before, so I don't imagine this is her first rodeo. She makes a front. It's she just makes a big deal out of it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of rabbits, she probably actually ate like giant spiders or something. I don't know.
Rats.
Similar concept, slightly different execution.
Yeah. Rats and
Skeevers.
underdark creatures.
Skaven.
Die.
All right.
I forgot to actually give my reset my spell slots.
Oh yeah, I should.
I get half my hit die back, right?
Half the amount that you used.
I used 21
How'd you use 21 hit dice?
because I ate one of my candy bars that gives me extra hit die.
Well, I mean, you have 20 though.
I used 21.
So you get
During
10.
that dragon turtle fight.
Yes, but like still like to get back her hit dice, she still has 20 hit dice.
Right.
And it's not how many I used, it's how many I have.
Out of the one, you know what I mean?
but I No, seriously. Like, okay,
Apart from the
the-
things that give you extra shit.
it gave me hit die though. You regain. Let's see. Each person who eats it regains 2 additional hit die at the end of a long rest, and those who partake in the meal, blah 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 blah. So I get 2 back, extra. Does that make sense? Maybe, maybe not.
As long as you know what you're doing.
I can put it in the thingy.
I
I'm just saying I can if you need me to.
don't
What
need
would you
to.
put? What would you put? Fucking cook utensils. What would you put that? Like, what skill check do you?
Dex?
Wisdom?
Dex, wisdom, intelligence.
Those are all the same, so it doesn't really matter.
Then whatever you want it to be. Just not strength.
Can't
Or
do a
constitution.
con.
Nope.
As long as it's not charisma, I'm okay. Cool. I'm average at that. Could you get away with animal handling for
No.
skinning stuff?
No.
It's getting very literal. Well, I am handling an animal, so
Did you roll, Crystal?
semantic.
No, did it roll?
Oh, I was just because you said it was average, and I was like, I didn't see anything pop up.
No.
I was just curious.
No, I have a +8, so it's like, average.
Mm.
I can roll though.
Do you think perhaps that we should have separate camping excursions?
For each of our classes.
Yes.
Do you want to do separate or do you want to do them all together?
I feel that if I took my class with your classes, that they would do as I do and take advantage of their peers rather than think for themselves.
The larger the group, the easier it is for those falling behind to hide in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you could. It is an option. You don't have to do it this way, but we could pair off our groups individually, like into groups of 4, and make them have to work. If there's someone who's weak, you obviously be able to see them. You don't have to. It's just if you feel comfortable in it.
We should make an end assignment.
An end assignment? What are you thinking of?
I was thinking of individual presentations.
Well, if we go with the group idea that I'm talking about, we can have multiple little checkpoints, and then if you want to do an end presentation, there needs to be a checkpoint for them to be able to find where they think is a suitable campground.
Perhaps
Make them.
if they pass a suitable checkpoint for a skill, we could give them something to aid them in their next step.
See, why not? Give them the choice of aid. Maybe give them 3 options, and maybe make one of them more useful than the others, just to see where their instincts lie. They all would be helpful, but maybe just have one that's slightly more helpful. Like, say they find a place to camp, and we give them the option of a flint, or we give them the option of, I don't know, what are some other camp things? Crystal can't think. if they're spellcasters, they won't need a flint, but that's also something for them to. That's their instincts. That's something for their group to think about. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's a reward, but it's also a slight challenge.
They could have the option for a flint or kindling or
we could
something
even,
else that doesn't burn as well. Dry kindling versus wet kindling.
yeah, 2 different types of kindling. Light or not, that's something that people use to get their fire started real quick. That's very helpful, actually. But if they're not familiar with what it is, we're going to give them enough time. It's not like the very first day we're going to send them out. So we're going to give them.
No, I figure we walk them through a day going well, show them the skills that they need. And my thought was give them an ideal day, and then during the night, step back and observe them and let them figure out the next morning.
Should we introduce outside problems ourselves?
Tempting. I had thought about it.
For example, at night we step back. Do they keep watch or don't they keep watch?
And if they don't, perhaps a few raccoons dig around in their packs and eat what food they brought.
Mm.
And they have to hunt for breakfast. I'm sure some of them will be smuggling food.
I don't doubt that.
You could also just, instead of actual raccoons, unless you meant that as a hypothetical. With how
No, I
stealthy
meant
you are.
actual raccoons.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, you're also stealthy enough that maybe you could get the stuff yourself. That way they don't lose it. You know, a raccoon might. Okay, well, you know what? They shouldn't bring any in forest anyway.
If we tell them not to bring any additional supplies other than what is on a specific list, and they do, we can get rid of that. But not look like the villains for doing it.
Mhm.
Let some woodland creatures take the fall.
Can you entice?
I could find some raccoons, have a word with them. I'm sure I could convince them to
Okay.
go have a nice, easy dinner.
Shall we go to this waterfall today? I'm curious about this elemental.
Yeah, it's over here. It's weird. It's interesting. Like, I don't know if you connect much with nature, but it's a weird feeling. It's beautiful though.
Now, if some of our students can sense it,
Yeah, Ishmael. Is that
yes.
yours? Ishmael's yours, right,
Yes.
Elena? Yeah, he was the one that got some weird vibe from it himself.
I'm trying to find individual interests and focusing more on some of that.
Yeah, he can stand on water, just like chill.
I assume that was some sort of monk thing.
I've always heard they just run across water, not that they just stand perfectly still in water. That's different. But I feel like all these kids have things about them.
There are magical items that allow you to walk on water.
Yeah, I don't think it was that though. He didn't. He
So,
could have been.
so just for you guys to know, I've always ran it that unlike Dean, who says that you need to be moving in order to walk across water, that ability that monks get that lets you walk on the surface of water and also climb up vertical surface, you can just chill there. You don't have to be moving. You can just
Like a
stand.
fucking spider monkey.
Oh, I cannot wait. I'm playing a monk in one of your games eventually. Oh, I can't
Right, because monks are not already overpowered.
wait.
Really, I
They're
didn't
fun.
know this before I built one, but wow,
They're fun.
I'm
they're fun.
gonna do an Protector Azamar, which gets a flying speed, and that increases with the monk speed, so that's gonna be a lot of fun.
When I first read the ability, my immediate thought was, oh, it's like Naruto. But that was literally what they could do. They just like channel their ninja energy into their feet, which lets them walk along the surfaces of water and also up surfaces, like vertical
Come on.
surfaces. This is before I read or watched JoJo.
Yeah.
But
Motherfucking
so yeah, he was using that ability.
yeah. Thanks. Now I got that stuck in my head. Yeah, scratch that entire conversation. Because if we're a character in this world, I've definitely seen monks just stand still. Still weird that he can sense the water elemental. I mean, I know there's abilities that allow you to do that. I just want that. I don't know. His skill set just doesn't add up. Which, like I said, most of these students' skill set just seems slightly more unique than your average warrior, caster, rogue.
I imagine they're in training to be leaders for a reason. They may have something more than just anyone.
Maybe.
So far, he makes uh 2 students that I have things to focus in on.
What's your other?
Finale.
Oh, the shit starter.
I'm going to focus alchemy with him.
Hmm. I thought you were just gonna start shit with him. Just have him. That's a talent.
Oh, I mean, that comes naturally to him.
We all have gifts.
But he has
Are you in trouble?
expressed interest in poisons and such, and I am not going to discourage it.
It's a useful tool.
I will be seeing if he can get some lessons from Dradus or someone like that. He's a big tree thing. You ever see him?
Oh, no, I
Can't say
haven't.
that I have, but I'm
Branches for
sure.
head.
It's not a big campus. I'm sure we'll see him.
He is the head of the workshops.
The
Have to
campus
stop
is
by.
actually quite large.
That's true. It is big, but it is a confined space. We'll
Is he
eventually
head
bump
of
into him.
the workshop or just like the?
It was just the alchemy / herbalism,
Yes.
basically a greenhouse.
Hmm.
Are there any individuals that stand out for your groups? That
Well,
the there was that one who packed a punch with you, Katrin. What's up with that?
The druid?
Yeah.
That's Blasia. She's very kind-hearted person. But yeah, she's got some power. I definitely could tell that it took a lot out of her to hit me the way she did, but no other student has hit me with that much raw power yet. Um, she seems not interested in combat as much as the others, but she's capable of taking care of herself. I just find that very interesting. I think
What? A fight? We're
yes, yes, exactly.
gonna die! Shut up, Bertetta.
She's a lot more charismatic than Bernadette. Just saying.
I know, I'm just making a joke.
Uh,
What, a druid charismatic?
she's
I
just
know,
a
crazy,
seminal.
right?
I feel like there's more to that though. I'm definitely interested, but I'm interested in a lot of students right now. I haven't had any of them really tell me any specific fields of study that they're interested in. There's that bard that played that god awful tune while she was invisible. Um, could use some lessons from you. Let's just say.
I can provide an extracurricular musical addition.
I mean, Alana, you were there. You heard the
Yes.
violin playing,
Yes, I did.
and it was beautiful.
Yes. Okay.
But it
But
was,
it had an effect.
Yeah.
but you could see the shockwaves from your musical playing crack the ground, and also, I mean, Katrin felt it.
I don't know, Katrin. It was pretty impressive to me.
I'm not saying it wasn't impressive. I'm just saying it was painful as shit.
It was effective.
Eh. I think it would have been more effective on someone a little less stout than me.
That can be
But-
said of almost any attack. Let's be honest here.
Yes, that's true.
Still, I can provide an extracurricular class, if you will, for the more musically inclined to hone their skills in more interesting ways than entertainment.
I haven't had a chance to talk to her too much, but she seemed. She has a confidence to rival yours, let's just say. It would be interesting to see how that would clash with you and your teaching.
I don't like this one, Charlie. Its smug aura bothers me.
No, I appreciate her smoke, or Crystal does. 100%. And Katrin loves the thought of two smug people.
Smugging each other out.
Yeah.
Who can outsmug each other?
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if Olinda has a match on that or not. Um, though Cairo gets on my nerves.
You've
Can
taken
tell that he,
special interest in him.
yeah. He seems troubled, determined, but, you know, slightly troubled. The type of determined that people get whenever they're trying to distract themselves.
Well, knowing you, he'll eventually break through his shell and get to the bottom of it. If anything, you'll smash through it.
Just hope I don't, smash too carelessly and damage something that's already damaged.
What about you, Vestron?
Well, I'm particularly interested in getting to know Victor better. He seems like a good lad, gentle, but strong. Maybe doesn't quite know his own strength. I think he's the making of a good leader, but he needs guidance. I worry about Vianola. She seems a little frail. Um, that was actually something I spoke to Victor about, was keeping an eye on his casters. They fall during combat. There's not a lot to be done about it. Lawrence is a capable fighter. Ruby is going to need some hand-holding, I think. She's probably used to having things spoon-fed to her. I'm very interested in getting to know, alright, Ian, I might say it wrong, Ashlyn?
Nope, you got it.
Okay.
Oh, I think it's Ashley. I think it's Ashley.
Okay.
Ashlach. I don't know.
You'd think with all the phlegm I could do that really well right now, but I can't.
it's I don't think it's Ashlyn because that's spelled a different weird way.
Allison.
AISLINN or something.
It looks like Allison.
I do
does look
believe
like
you said
Allison.
Allison once. That rings a bell.
Then Allison it is.
Alright.
Phonetically,
Which sounds
it's Alasan.
It sounds right because the generator that I pulled these from gave me a English pronunciation, and so if y'all remember me saying that, it was probably hot off the heels of that.
I feel like you've said Allison and Ashlyn, which is why I was like, I don't know which one it is.
I think Ashlyn might have been like Ian's had a character called Ashlyn.
Oh,
with
too
weird,
close to home.
With weird spelling, Celtic spelling. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. That backup character that I never got to play. But made up for it with Honora, also an A name.
Mm-hmm.
But I would be more interested in. I would be interested in seeing more of what Allison can do. She seems like a capable fighter. She has shape-shifting ability. She seems to tick a lot of boxes. I feel like she or Victor would make probably excellent leads.
You could have two.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if we talk about splitting our class into two groups of 4 with leads.
True.
Mm.
I don't know who I would pick for a second leader. I'm half tempted to give it to Arcag. Just to see what would happen.
Well, hobgoblins are natural leaders, so it'll probably work out pretty well.
I imagine we're having this conversation as we're headed towards the waterfall.
Yeah, probably. This is the
Mhm.
walk and talk. This is the Aaron Sorkin West Wing walk and talk.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's pretty obvious who one of my leaders would be. Just like it is for you two.
Her Majesty?
The very one.
You're still weird about it, aren't you?
It's just that eventually she will lead, and I won't be a teacher, but just a noble in her court. So it's just.
And you
weird
will be
thinking about the
proud.
future. Yeah. I hope she comes to see me as a, worthy advisor versus just a
Subject.
grumbling subject. Yeah, just
I
because I'm
don't think that'll be the case. I think things will work out just fine.
That being said, dwarves are famed for their grumbling.
not as much grumbling, but like the whole like ass kissing shit that some nobles do with royalty, which is definitely not her.
It's definitely less common amongst the
Proud
leaders of
dwarves.
the. Yeah, they pay their duly respects in court, but you'll hardly ever see a dwarf grovel, even before the mightiest of emperors.
I kind of want to give it to.
Cairo?
I wonder if he would blossom under leadership or being the leader. I feel like he's one of those types that doesn't do well with being bossed around, but is he one of those types that's good at, giving instruction without making his others feel under him? I don't know his personality too much. Either him or Axia, but I just feel like Axia would just whoop somebody's ass that didn't follow her lead.
Sometimes that's an admirable quality.
That is a quality that I have
See?
or had.
Well,
And sometimes that's the right tack, and sometimes it's not.
trial and error, I guess.
I mean, that's all we can do is give them the mantle of leadership and see how they handle it.
They all will have it eventually.
Another part of me kind of wants to give it to Blasia because she's just so. Even though she's more soft spoken and she has a caring touch about her to where she would be aware of everybody's opinion. I feel like she would listen. I feel like she wouldn't dismiss anybody's.
Out of
I don't know.
character, I think it would be a good idea to split Cairo and Blasia up.
Yeah, don't they have like a little friendship?
Yeah,
Or she healed him or something?
yeah, they're friends.
Oh, hey, look, it's the waterfall.
How majestic.
Anyone
Yes,
fancy
you.
a swim?
Sounds good.
Yeah, my character dives
I
right in.
immediately take off all my clothes.
Oh no, my character just dives right in. With Shathid.
Mm-hmm.
Can Shathid swim? Sure.
Why not? Vezran's
Sure.
also firmly in camp, no clothes. So
Ah, fuck.
Too
Wiggles
late,
her
you're
way
already
up.
wet.
Yeah, I'll take them off anyway. I don't care. I'm not going to be the only one with clothes on. That's weird.
hard to swim and all that.
They're gonna be soggy
Just
after.
weighs you down.
We both know she can't float anyway.
I am 200 pounds of stout muscle. It's hard to float when you're this compact.
That makes no difference of buoyancy.
I am this little with a bunch of weight.
You are full of air that helps you be buoyant, and yet you still sink.
Nope. It's because I'm this little with this much weight. If I had more surface area to float, it would be easier.
Katrin, did no one ever teach you how to tread water? Because you can kind of fight this whole can't float thing.
I just swim, and if I don't swim, I drown.
I like.
Suppose you're doing it right.
I'm like floating. I'm like, and then I like tuck my legs in. I'm like, I'm still floating.
And then Katrin's just like viciously, aggressively swimming around her.
Look, I'm a small ball, and yet I'm floating.
You still have your surface area.
I've made my surface area smaller.
No, you didn't.
As you're just being carried gently by the current. While Katrin is violently and aggressively fighting against the current.
Yeah. Just like trying to fight the entire river.
Yes, that's Katrin.
Like if Katrin could punch the river, Katrin would punch the river.
She's definitely trying to swim up the waterfall. Can I make like an athletics check or something?
Like a constitution to see how long you can push shit up.
This. Come on!
You can't swim up a waterfall. That's not how gravity works. That's not
This
how
is not-
anything works.
This is like the
swim up
soundtrack. This is
waterfall
not Breath of
base,
the
I'm
Wild.
going
We
to
do
climb
not-
it.
This is not Breath of the Wild. You do not have the Zora's armor that lets you
I
walk up a
am.
waterfall.
I am going to swim to the base of the waterfall, and if I get to it, I want to climb up the waterfall.
Okay. That'll definitely be an athletics check to not, get punted off by the weight of the water.
My athletics check is a 24 or higher, automatic.
Roll it anyway.
Okay.
So Katrin begins climbing up the rock face behind the waterfall. It's more of a gurgle.
She's doing it through grinding teeth. Yeah. Guys, this is the one thing she's good at. Let her have it.
Rage climbing.
Rage climbing. I did have advantage too. I forgot about that. Thank you.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
It didn't, but
No, you did fine.
when she gets halfway, she jumps off of it and cannonballs really heavy. Uses the weight of.
So the top of the waterfall is not the top of the whole side of the cliff, because this is the point at which like the water flows from like these small like eroded tunnels.
Mm-hmm.
So you can keep climbing past the waterfall, or you can just get right above like one of the larger tunnel chutes that the water is pouring out from. Well, actually, it's one big like a eroded tunnel entrance that you see the water pouring out from.
Can she push her hands and feet on the tunnel entrance and just like look in it for a second to see if it's anything cool, or
Sure.
if it's just water? Is it like? Is it the entire tunnel entrance is flooded with water, or is it like halfway full water pouring out?
It's halfway full.
Okay. Yeah.
You can see like the roof of the tunnel like go back a little bit and then dip down
Ooh.
past the water line. So the water reaches the top and then flows out.
Is this where the thing is that she sends?
Yeah.
The water?
If you were to hold your breath and fight the current going all the way in, you would end up more. You would end up eventually inside of a little perfectly round cave, completely flooded, and in the center, a ancient water elemental.
How does holding your breath, like, how do you measure that again?
It's 1 minute per your con bonus.
That's
Bonus.
it's so long. It's wild.
7 minutes.
So
Yeah, right? Like it's crazy.
So I think that I could get to the center of it in 7 minutes.
You are more than welcome to try.
I mean, that's 7 minutes not doing anything. If you're exerting yourself, it's going to be less time.
Says who? Is there a rule that says that? No, this is D&D.
No.
Let me be.
There's a rule for literally everything. So
As somebody who has had to look up multiple homebrews for things, I can tell you that that is in fact false.
Okay.
I just want to get into the center of it and see if like the water elemental turns me to a mermaid.
Weirdly specific dream, but okay.
I'm like starfishing, trying to like see if I can just sense anything. I have nothing that aids me in that. I'm just like meditating on the water.
So how wide is Katrin?
She is like 3'3" or something, so her reach is probably like straight across is probably what
Four
4 feet
foot?
maybe. 4'5", 4'4", something like that. However wide her chest is, plus 3.5 feet. Can she even like?
That's what I'm thinking.
Can she even like?
Like,
brace
I just
herself?
picture her as wide as she is tall. Just like a fucking absolute unit.
Just a square.
She
It's very
thinks.
dwarf muscles are very odd in that they are just like so compact that you can break a diamond against them. I also just kind of want to be like at the force of it so that the water elemental literally just jettisons me and helps me make the best cannonball possible. That's the real goal. But a mermaid would be cool too.
So do you want to or not?
I'll give it a shot, yeah. If we're about like 5 minutes in and I'm not, or like 3.5 minutes in and I'm not like, I don't feel like I'm getting close to it, I'll just say fuck it and go with it.
Cannonball.
Yeah.
All right. So you take a big deep breath and you dive into the hole,
Yep.
fighting against the current,
Mm-hmm.
which only gets stronger and stronger.
Mm-hmm. Literally going against the force of nature here.
Literally.
You know, this is the way that you attune to a water elemental, okay?
This is how you have Ganassi babies.
She agreed to try again, so
A little 4-foot Ganassi
so cute. Stout as shit.
with seaweed for a beard.
Oh.
Can it be like red seaweed? That'd be adorable.
This
Want
is
me
now
to roll
becoming
anything?
canon.
Oh god, am I getting pregnant in front of you guys?
I didn't think we were playing that kind of game, but okay,
I didn't
here we are.
Did
This
we
is
check
like a
the?
dating sim gone off
we-
the rails.
Did we check the mature 18 or over
Always.
box on Twitch?
It's our channel.
Okay.
It's our channel always.
Do you want me to roll something, Ian?
I mean, it would probably be an athletics check to fight the current.
Yeah. 32.
32. Oh, right. You're always raging. Okay. So you're basically like crawling through the tunnel. Like, you're not so much like kick swimming. You're literally just like grabbing for jagged rocks to pull yourself through the current.
Oh my god.
As you go deeper and deeper into the tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
What's your movement speed?
30.
30?
No. Yeah, 30. 30.
Aren't you a full barbarian? You get unarmored movement.
Yeah, how much is that?
10 feet?
Okay, 40.
So half that's 20.
Yeah,
Unless you have a swim speed.
I don't think so. No.
Oh no, she's moving at 10 feet.
Oh.
It's like double difficult terrain.
Mm.
It's like you're climbing, which is already half movement, and
I
then
mean,
you're
10
also
feet for
fighting
6
it.
seconds is not bad.
I know. She's
Actually,
really.
I'm also dashing, so 20
So,
feet.
20 feet. Angrily swim climbing.
It's not
Dash.
angry. She's one with nature, and she's finding her moments of whenever to. It's the magic of the rage, guys.
So, for Vestrin and Elena's perspective, Catherine climbed the waterfall, went into a tunnel, and she's been in there for like a minute.
She's fine. Someone's like, she's dead. She's totally dead. She's fine.
Just catch her doing another stupid thing, yet she's the smartest one here.
It swallowed her whole. She's dead. It's fine.
At what point does Elena start coming up with excuses to tell the Grandmaster?
Of what happened to our third
Of
member.
what happened to the third teacher and why he
She'll
suddenly
show
needs
up
to find a
eventually.
replacement in 6 days.
Don't say that, Ian.
Well, you're about to disturb a water elemental, but I don't doubt that you
I'm
can't
not
fuck shit up.
disturbing them. I'm having a conversation with them.
Okay.
This is Catherine's time of conversation.
Are you though?
Really?
Hi, make me a mermaid. Here, have a baby instead.
Oh god, y'all. She lets go at 3.5 minutes, which
No.
is... Oh, okay.
Make another athletics.
Okay.
30. Oh my god.
I'm a plus 19. My passive, if that's even a thing, I'm just saying, my passive athletics is 29. That's an average. And I can't roll below a 24. Because that's my strength, and that's a thing barbarians get. Oh, it's not that one. It's
Oh, that's a good one to know. Damn.
yeah, that's why my shit's so high.
I wish I could make like a full class character and not multi-class so I can get this cool stuff.
Yeah.
So 30 was what you needed to break into the inner chamber.
Oh my god. Uh-huh.
Has not seen a living organism in millennia.
You're gonna catch something.
You're gonna get a cold. A dwarf cold. Which is literally like the most dangerous of them all.
A dwarven cold.
Yeah,
It
sir,
is
she has the
freezing,
plague.
by the way.
Yeah.
This is not warm water
No.
at this point. The water on the outside, like when it's a river, is like kind of pleasant.
Mm-hmm.
But this is like near freezing.
Well, you know, like whenever you do like an extraneous workout, you kind of like want to ice bath afterwards. That's what I'm imagining. Super painful, but like your muscles are.
Yeah, because you're throwing your body into thermal shock.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's fine.
How long since I've been climbing?
Like
30 seconds.
See, I got a whole other 6 minutes. We're okay.
We'll put it at a minute and a half.
Okay, yeah, fine.
So you force your way through the final little threshold and into the chamber.
Mm-hmm. You gave
Where
me this option, Ian.
where there is a force like pushing water like out through the small exits
Mm-hmm.
that feed that feed into the main little tunnel that you were climbing through.
Mm-hmm.
And through blurred vision,
Mm-hmm.
focus a little through your finely tuned eagle vision. Wait, do you have that totem?
Yep.
Okay.
I believe I do. I'll double check actually. Mm-mm-mm. So there's that one.
I
Oh,
was like, it was too quiet in here.
Gotta put on the appropriate
Yep.
water themed music. Okay, so you do.
yes. You can see up to 1 mile with no difficulty.
Cool. So what would be completely blurred vision for literally anyone else is instead only slightly blurred,
Mm-hmm.
as you just see in the center of this massive chamber full of water, like this kind of amorphous amoeba-like blob entity in the center, just kind of like writhing as points. Like there's like some kind of like gel-like outer skin layer, basically, of the elemental that like keeps all the water intact.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you can see like points of water like fighting to burst through this like layer. And occasionally you see like small breaks open. It's like, and you can see like the water moving with such force as more water gets added into the chamber.
Just wave at him.
The blob rise even more than it was before you entered.
Oh, it's mad.
Like it gets like progressively faster and faster and faster.
Oh no.
Until eventually like like it shrinks down,
Mm-hmm.
expands, and there's like you can see like this visible shockwave coming
Ooh.
that just like washes over you.
Uh-huh. That was the moment she was waiting for. Can she ride that wave through the tunnel?
I was about to say, like, it like kicks you back through the tunnel or into the mouth of the tunnel, but it is just like you feel like this intense, just like feeling come over you, just like you're high, basically. Just like all your muscles relax, and you're just like your eyes go wide and like a whoa kind of like moment.
Mm-hmm. See, this is what it means to be one with nature, guys.
And your rage is temporarily ended as you're just like it experiences total tranquility.
Oh my god. I'm glad I decided that's what I wanted to go.
And you're just like riding the current through this narrow cavern as like you're forced like with the current back out. And Vestern and Elena, you just see Katrin get vomited out of the waterfall.
Does it actually make that sound?
It does in your mind. But it's just like there's like this like the water seems to like the water from the waterfall seems like slow for a second, or like kind of narrow, like there's not as much water coming out, and all of a sudden, as like this huge like jettison of water comes out, like somebody just like busted up a fire hydrant, but on massive scale, and so just like a water cannon shoots out, and Katrin just gets yeeted out of the cave. And splooshes into the water. Or into the river.
And now I can float. She floats. I've always been able to float. I just like to give you a hard time.
Katrin, as you
Yeah.
were floating out through the tunnel that you climbed through, your lungs no longer burned from the pressure of keeping them closed.
That's weird. I can breathe though, right? Like
Yeah.
outside of in water?
Yeah.
I still breathe in water?
You dunk your hand under and you take a big old deep breath, and it feels really weird as water kind of like you can feel the water fill your lungs, but when you exhale, it's like all of a sudden like your lungs were at full and now they're empty.
I said underwater.
And you are floating towards the actual other end of the river, and there's a big old waterfall at the end of it.
Like Emperor's New Groove shit.
Yep, exactly.
I try to like do the little pop my head out. I can breathe underwater and go back.
I sometimes worry for that one.
She seems to be having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't die, so...
I don't
Probably
think
alright.
anything can kill her.
She, at this point, is effectively immortal.
Mm-hmm. She
Don't
will live
tell her
forever.
I said that, though.
She's too stubborn to die of old age, so
Oh, for sure.
she will live forever.
Bang enough elementals, maybe.
I like how that's the lesson we learned from this.
I'm just
Bug
wondering
people
if
while they sleep
this-
get superpowers.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if this water breathing thing is temporary or.
Yeah, we're gonna figure that out. Trust me, the day that that it goes away, you will know. There will be tears.
Because you'll be like swimming in the fountain.
Like, we
at
gotta go
school
back,
and just
guys. We
cough
gotta
up
go back.
water.
Gotta go back.
It's okay, I can do it.
As she gets it to like she catches it back up with the rest of them, and she just floats with them. And she drops her rage. She communes with nature.
Oh, water so peaceful.
Unless Catherine is there.
No, Lena's literally like just making a song up on the spot about water and peace and tranquility and. So what else is on the
So-
docket for this camping trip? Like, did we do
We
everything?
want to see if anybody can go in the tunnel.
I'm good.
Talking about the students, like, would anyone be stupid enough to go in that tunnel?
Oh, I'm sure. That's a problem.
Maybe we shouldn't even tell them it's a possibility.
Yeah, I guess not.
You're
They
a little
weren't-
secret, you know?
They weren't too happy that I was in there, I don't think. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they tried to push me out. And
Well, when you learn Primordial, you could probably talk to it.
that I could. Guess that's the next thing to do then.
I do plan on having Ishmael study up on elementals, so
He does have a talent for sensing them. I do know Elvish.
Oh!
Wait, what?
Alright.
I
you're
wasn't
just
paying
really
attention.
tired.
I think I chose to know Elvish because the other two knew Elvish. And it was like,
Didn't want us to talk about you behind your back.
I just didn't want to be left out of a conversation.
I want to be part of the club.
I want to be part of the Elf Club.
Alright. Did we do it? Are we going back?
Or probably, like, Bezran will take moments to point out, like, those are deer tracks. That's this kind of tree. You can eat that flower, but that one will make you sick. Just tidbits.
Cool. Alright, let's go back and see what mess is being left.
So as far as sending the students out, I like the idea of putting them into smaller groups.
I will be right back, y'all. You keep talking amongst yourselves.
Like,
think it would
do
be
we
easier.
do we split them up amongst our classes or?
That's the other thing. I wonder if we want to mix the classes up.
Mm,
I don't think
I-
there's any reason we can't.
it would be interesting to do so early, but also it might just be me thinking this, but this was a great opportunity for them to bond as a class.
Maybe
You know what I
splitting,
mean?
like mingling the classes might come on a later camping trip.
I think it would be more of a challenge if we did that. You know what I mean? After they've had time to, connect with each other and learn each other, it would be very smart to mix them up later on down the line, because then it gives them the opportunity to practice adjusting to new dynamics and stuff.
Sorry,
Yeah,
so
sorry.
practice, and my brain went safe sex. Sorry, I keep yawning.
That's okay.
Well, let's head back. I don't want to be gone too long. I did leave word with certain people that we weren't going to be around.
Oh, did they throw a party or something?
I was curious to see what they would do.
Back.
You're like the cool mom who wants their kids to actually throw a party.
Just curious to see what they would do. I have a sneaking suspicion that someone might have snuck off to town again. But we shall see.
We could go to town first.
Do we need anything?
I mean, if you wanted to see if someone's in town. Also, you might need some hiking boots. I don't know if you want to wear... Never mind.
These are fine, thank you.
I'm just thinking about your feet.
I'm quite comfortable. How far away are we from that town?
Several miles. Like half a day's walk.
I can ride Shadid. Is Shadid strong enough to carry all of us?
Mm,
Seems a little OP if she is,
Yeah,
honestly.
I think Shathid's a
No.
dwarf-size mount.
No, she's a giant boar. Like, you guys could ride them. Not maybe all together, but y'all could ride them.
yeah, plus her saddle is only designed for a single dwarf.
Yeah.
I could always turn into something and carry a Vestrin.
If you're interested.
I could go for a trip. Slight detour.
Something that flies, because I can have Shadid fly
Oh yeah.
quicker. Wouldn't have to stay on the road. We could make a straight shot for it.
Quick, name something we've seen before that can fly and hold a person.
I mean, do you want basic ass? Because you could just do a great eagle. Giant eagle.
I could.
That's where my mind was.
Or you could do a mofo dragon.
I don't
Which
think
might
we
draw
should
unwanted
do-
attention.
Yeah.
Love how both of y'all reacted that
Like,
way. Picturing a dragon entering town. And then Elena just
Utter
Yeah.
panic ensues.
Mm-hmm. Right. We'll
Pegasus?
save some time flying there.
hopefully, yeah.
I shall shape change into a giant eagle.
"Eee."
So for the DM, you're going to town because Elena has a suspicion that someone might have snuck off to town while they're away.
Okay.
And we're just gonna see if there's any evidence of such excursions, you know? Just for curiosity's sake. Maybe a little fancy seeing you here.
So, the nearest town in Castle Whitestone is a little mountain valley town by the name of Zermatt. Zermatt. Although it could be a no. We'll go with Zermatt. It's a pretty small but fairly well-developed town. There's probably like a population of like 2,500 people. There aren't walls around the entire city, but at the entrances of the town, there's like these little like wooden, not little, but like wood palisades that act as like a gate to kind of like funnel people through a specific point.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it's a fairly small town. You can see in the outskirts like some small fields designated for like crop growth or animal handling. So like you can see like small little pastures with like farm animals, mostly like sheep with a few cattle. As quaint villagers go around their daily business, you guys get there about mid-afternoon. Probably around like 2 or 3. Considering that you guys flew.
Any interesting shops?
There are cute little boutique stores. Some general goods stores that would sell like your daily needs for people doing village work. With some like artisan stores selling local crafts.
Is there any like little artisans that sell stickers?
No.
But I want to buy gold stars.
You could probably buy colored paper and cut them out into the shape of stars.
No. Are there any like alchemy apothecary shops?
Yes, there is a local apothecary. Kind of like a village doctor almost, brewing up medicinal herbs and potions to help the local populace out and sell excess things to passerbys. They're a little like off like the main road, kind of going through like this little patch of trees. And it's like a woodsman's hut. I mean, it's larger than a hut. It's like pretty much like a small house. And when you enter, it's like one large room on the main floor with like you can see like a ladder staircase thing going up to like a second floor.
Good afternoon, good sir.
Hello. Is there anything you need today, miss?
I was wondering if...
Perhaps something to, and as he adjusts his glasses, perhaps something to fix your skin complexion?
I got something to fix your skin complexion
I'm
right
sorry,
here,
I thought this was a shop that had good customer service. You don't go insulting your customers now, do you?
Kind of squints his eyes like, I'm sorry, I didn't realize it was an insult. Is that your natural skin tone?
I'm a drow.
Oh! Sincerest apologies. Did not realize. I thought you were under some sort of, I don't know, magical ailment?
Get that all the time. I was wondering if perhaps you've had any interesting customers of late. Some students from the nearby monastery?
Well, I haven't had any young folk outside of the village coming over the last couple of days. There was one student almost a week ago at this point. But yeah, that wasn't within the last couple of days. I had an order, several orders, that were addressed to the castle.
To whom exactly?
Oh, it was for the Mr. Dridus?
Ah, yes.
Dreadus. Yeah, odd fellow, that one.
Do you need anything delivering now? We are going to be heading back to the castle.
Oh no, we were sent off on the last caravan heading
Ah.
out of town. Delivery's already being handled.
If that young man should come back, do me a favor and give him some extra special care. And I slide like 100 gold at him.
Okay, I was gonna say make a persuasion check, but
I mean, I could do that too.
I think 100 gold bribe for a little town apothecary is more than enough.
What are you
mean-
talking about? I'm closing shop.
I mean, I rolled a 2 on it, so the 100 gold will help.
Just buy your way into a better role.
It's like, oh, is he related? Or, oh my, oh, absolutely.
It's something I want to encourage.
I will give that young man preferential treatment should he decide to come by the store again. As he takes the pouch of 100 gold and places it under the counter.
Yeah.
Now, is there anything you need today?
Am I proficient in anything?
I don't know, are you?
Just musical stuff and other stuff. Do you have any remedial? We have a library for that. Never mind. Do you have anything? Oh no, I'm good.
All right. If you're sure.
I have still plenty of healing potions in my pack. So, unless you have any other interesting potions for sale.
he goes through his selection, and not a whole lot of it is grabbing your attention. For the most part, it's pretty basic stuff. Not really stuff geared for adventurers. Aside from a small selection of healing potions.
Well, you have yourself a fine day.
You as well.
And remember, all skin colors are welcome.
I wasn't saying they wouldn't, or they weren't.
Never
Warrant.
assume?
I will do my best, but you wouldn't believe the amount of skin condition cases people come in with.
Gotcha.
Guess the motherfucker's never seen a drow.
No.
Captain says out loud.
Are you also there?
We're all
I thought
there.
we all went in! I wasn't joking whenever she threatened him.
There once was an apothecary, couldn't tell what a drow was. As I walk out the door. Alright.
Look, drow aren't seen that much outside of their homes, so most humans in the middle of nowhere. It's a wonder this guy even heard of drow.
That's fine, but Katrin, even though she can't stand her drow, it's her drow to not stand and no one else's. So back the fuck up.
Alright. I have some good news and I have some bad news.
Mm-hmm.
The good news is that I concluded my business here in town. The bad news is I can no longer change my shape today.
Well, okay. Guess
you're
we're hoofing it.
We're huffing it. I blew my 9th level spell on a fucking giant eagle.
You know,
Yeah, but
you
it
have
was-
polymorph?
Ooh.
Maybe, maybe not.
No, I have shape change.
I didn't know you had that. I just didn't know if you also had polymorph or not.
I have not changed any of my spells, so...
Sucks to be y'all. She flies in the air, but she flies.
I mean,
with
I
you.
was... Okay. I was
She
gonna suggest that we go to a tavern, but she's flown off already. Would you like to
No,
go to a
she's
tavern?
right above you guys. Says she flies with you. She just flies.
Okay.
She can't. She likes being in the air.
Well, we should go back.
Tavern sounds good.
They have
fucked
food
up.
back at the castle! And drink.
It's like your mom. No, we're not going to McDonald's. We have food at home. There's food in the fridge.
All the people there suck. I want to get the poor fight.
Desvern casts Speak with Animals and asks Shathid what her vote is.
Shathid votes for the tavern.
Oh, okay, cool.
We can have a drink. Just one round for the road.
I think that's all I'm going to be able to stomach from this place anyway.
Yes, I imagine they're probably not going to live up to what we're used to.
It's probably not going to be good ale anyway. To the tavern!
At least it won't be Underdark Mushroom Ale.
I mean, it has a funk, but it does the job.
It does the job. It is effective. I will give it that.
Now, once you threw those onions in there, it really tied it together.
All right.
So a dwarf, a half elf, and a drow walk into a bar.
Yeah. Hard cut to you guys sitting down at a table with the
Just like,
with
just
the
imagine the patrons are just looking at us.
With Shathid.
which Shathid is directed to stay outside. Mainly because Shathid can't fit through the door,
Yeah.
as the door is not giant boar sized.
We can push the door out of the way.
Can we can we
sit
bring
by
her
the
a bowl
window.
of beer?
We can sit by the window, and Shathi can like just huff by the window.
There you go. So the tavern is a quaint little, like, think like one of the taverns in The Witcher 3, or just like a small little, like, cozy inn, or just like cozy little building with wooden tables. With an older gentleman handling the bar, and presumably his wife going around, like, serving people their drinks and food. The kindly old woman, I say old, she's probably in like her 50s. Ask you, what's your business here? You guys passing through, or do you live nearby? Haven't seen y'all around here before. And she's like putting like mugs of
I need
local
word
ale.
brew.
Sorry, we just sent out our last barrel of dwarven ale to the local castle.
You supply the castle, then.
Occasionally. They're not entirely self-sufficient, so they occasionally come to this cozy little town to fill out supplies.
I guess I can have some when we get back there.
In exchange, they send some of their soldiers out to help guard the city and patrol the local area.
Does that seem like a good arrangement to you?
Oh, absolutely.
And do you have much trouble with bandits or creatures? They keep them at bay.
Not anymore. Not since the Wardens got set up in their castle about a year ago. Ever since they got set up, a lot of local banditry or ne'er-do-wells have kind of escaped to greener pastures now that there's an actual organized fighting force that will go out past the walls.
Seems reasonable.
Do you guys work at the castle?
We do. We are recent arrivals.
Oh, lovely. I hear
Yes.
it's a wonderful place there.
Oh no, it's absolutely beautiful. The layout is very nice, very relaxing. Everyone seems kind so far. Well, most everyone.
She lays out some hearty homemade meat stew with some vegetable, like root vegetables. It's a very hearty and heavy meal. Tastes very good for such a small little place. Definitely homemade.
This is wonderful, really. I don't know what you do to it, but choice stew.
Just a little collection of spices to help bring out the flavors.
I feel like they could take some pointers from you at the castle. Food there is fine.
If they ever wanted to bring me on, I don't know if I'd be able to handle it cooking for so many people.
It is a crowd.
Sometimes it's just all I can do to help feed the hard-working folk of here. And she kind of like, she's definitely one of those people who just like once she gets going, she kind of has a hard time stopping as far as like conversation goes. So she just like kind of like looks wistfully out the window past Shathid.
Pass
Mention-
pass the giant boar.
past the giant board. It's like saying how it seems like a lighter atmosphere and a hope for the future. It seems to work up people's appetites, and how now that the area is safe again, it's just like everything's been going so well. The people seem happy again, and happy people demand warm food.
You got any like ham bone for the boar?
Oh, absolutely. I got some spare bone that the broth can survive without. Wait, for the boar, ham
Yes.
bone, ham
Yeah.
bone.
Why not?
Okay. I don't know. Just she like brings out like a little like
It's not a pig.
burlap wrapped thing. It's like I don't know, just like bit from ham being fed to a boar.
Well, I mean, if you think not, Shadid and I do speak with animals as well. Do you want ham?
What's ham?
Meat.
Yes.
Bone.
Yes.
Yeah. Shadid wants it.
Give me the crunch.
Shadid is very, very intense about their food, just like I am. You know how personalities kind of rub off on each other when you have an animal for so long. You said it's safe again. I'm assuming those bandits or whatever. I remember we heard a fuss about them. Are they taken care of now?
From what I've heard, yep.
That sucks. I wanted to join in. On getting rid of the bandits, not join the bandits. Obviously.
I figured. And the local force of wardens has been acting as a effective deterrent for any other new groups of bandits trying to come in. You guys definitely get the sense that this town was having a round of bad luck with different groups of bandits coming in, but the wardens getting access to the castle from the area's lord definitely seem to have improved the living situation for everybody here. And your drinks and meals are on the house, as you guys have identified yourself as working with them.
I mean, well, kindly pay a small town establishment, you know.
She kind of like kindly waves away your coin. And it's like no, and she like mentions how like now that things are better, like business has been booming as more people have been coming through. So they can handle a free round of food and drinks for one group of customers.
I have gotten out my lute and started playing it.
Toss a coin to your warden.
Also, I get distracted because I'm looking up how to cook pasta in a crock pot because I have a crock pot.
Are you just now realizing that you've got a crock pot?
It's new, okay?
Alright, so you guys, your meals and drinks are consumed. You guys leave. And now that she's mentioned it, when you guys are moving through town, like the villagers or townspeople that you're passing by, like, yeah, you can definitely see, like, kind of like a warming aura on people. It's like people have got like smiles and they're laughing as they're going through, chatting with each other. It's like this is a happy place now.
Tis a happy place. Alright, we head back to the castle.
Mhm.
All right. You guys get there past dusk. Going up along the main road. Passing by like small little like caravans of people stopped off the side of the road who decided to call it in for the night. Well, you guys just like travel right through. And you reach the front gate.
Sup?
What was his name again? The gatekeeper?
The one I
Brian?
like or the one I don't like?
The one that you like.
Brian.
Brian. Gatekeeper Brian.
Brian Foster. Sup?
Welcome back, everybody.
We're done camping.
Well, I can see that. And he like waves and like the gate begins to raise. Just high enough for you guys to step underneath it.
Anything interesting happen while we're gone?
Nope, nothing to report. Just another quiet day watching the gate. The ranger captain did finally come back from her little outing with her cadre of rangers.
She's a weird one, that one.
Yeah, but she commands respect from her followers, and we all do as she says. We know she won't lead us astray. If you need her, she'll be at the main castle building. And the gate lowers as you guys pass by it.
You said it's like dusk or nighttime?
It is past. It is nighttime.
Excellent.
Let's go get drunk and then go try and find this mermaid in the water fountain.
Although here he is. There's a picture of him.
Yep. He cute. He mean well.
Sure. We could go and see if Aqua's around.
No. Get drunk first.
Well, we have to go to our quarters area.
It's like middle of the night.
Why? Fine, let's go see Aqua first.
I don't know if she'll be around, but
Tell her I can breathe underwater. We'll have something in common.
well, I don't know if how sound carries in the private gardens.
Oh, what? We're supposed to be quiet or something?
I entice her with music.
Oh.
And it is 9:00. And you dumb people are not nocturnal like I am.
I'm pretty nocturnal right now.
I don't know if a mermaid is nocturnal or not.
It's fine. Fine.
Go
I'll go
in
get drunk
the
alone.
morning. I need to check up on something.
Okay.
And I'm going to sneak into my student's dorm. Just to check up on him.
All right. You
Stealth.
enter stealth. Oh, stealth. Okay.
I said sneakily.
Do do.
Oh, you're changing the music, aren't you?
All right. So there are several patrols of guards, carrying lanterns as they're moving about, patrolling around the premises. There are groups of guards stationed at the main entrance to each of the dorms.
I'm not gonna sneak as I'm going there. I'm gonna sneak into when I get to the student part.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So you're just like you're walking casually up to the dorms, and then once you enter the building, you start sneaking.
Yes.
Okay.
There are too many sounds happening. I've got 2 different songs playing.
Well, that's not my fault.
I still got the da-na-na-na-na-na-na.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I have 2 music playing too.
It's weird. It should only be one.
Yep, I'm hearing the da-na-na-na-na-na-na.
Refresh because there shouldn't be anything playing. Because there's nothing playing on my end. I stopped all music. And it's
Oh, I know,
telling
I
me there's
saw
nothing,
that.
nothing currently playing.
Yeah, I saw that. There we go.
Yeah. Alright. So, where are you sneaking?
To my students' dorms.
Well, yeah, but now you're in there,
Oh,
and now you're
I'm
stealthing.
just checking out the place. You know,
Okay.
I'm gonna make sure all my students are where they're supposed to be.
It is the middle of the night. Everybody is asleep.
Cool.
It is dead silent. Dimly lit. Do candles throughout the hallways in the main rooms.
Is there any evidence that there was a party last night?
No. It is clean.
Too
There's
clean?
no. I mean, it looks like it's been cleaned. I don't know what too clean entails, but
Like, has it been lived in or is it cleaned?
like it's not like everything's like damp with fresh soap. It's just like there's no trash on the floor. No furniture has been upturned. Everything is where it looks like it's supposed to be.
Check the students' faces for
There's nobody awake. It's the middle of the night.
while they're asleep. You draw pieces on people's faces. It's something you do, at Hollywood Park.
The doors into people's dorm rooms are all closed.
Is there anything of value around?
No. Like there is a there's like a large taxidermied lion statue.
How
There's
heavy is it?
It's like probably a metric ton. It's like the taxidermy remains of like a giant lion. Like it's not just like your regular old lion, but like an even bigger lion with a gleaming golden pelt and a glorious mane. Like kind of like made to look like it's on like the edge of like a rock face. Looking nobly into the distance. Although in this case, the distance being towards the front door.
Alright, I leave.
It looks bolted to its place.
I go and find Vestrin.
Yes.
I've got the perfect idea for your class.
Okay.
Goal for the semester is that they somehow have to steal the lion from my students' dorm.
Oh, interesting.
It's huge, and they'd
Like
have
a life-sized.
a little bigger.
Well, all right.
Might be bolted.
There was also a plaque.
It's special. Just an idea.
Interesting one. I'll make note of it.
Alright, I'm going to bed.
I'm drinking a lot.
I guess Bezrin will also go to bed.
The next morning, I will take Katrin to the private gardens. Vestrin can come along if they want to.
They will.
And I start playing my violin beautifully. Waiting for the telltale signs that the fountain's coming alive.
All right.
I had to pop Stella's hip back in place, dude.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah. That's why I was cuddling with her, because she was hurting really bad.
Oh. So the plaque, just in case anybody was curious.
Yeah.
Um. So okay. Are you sure?
Yes, I was 100% curious, but
Does
it
it say
wasn't my
something
scene.
about emerald lions?
The statue is basically it's the remains of the line of which the Emerald Lion House was named after. It was a intelligent beast that basically in like the early days of the Wardens, as they were like the initial groups of individuals going around helping like clear out areas of evil influence and of deadly monsters, essentially like swore itself to the service of the first Grandmaster and accompanied him on many journeys before giving his life to save the Grandmaster and his companions. The lion's name was Leonidas, named after a great king.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now it serves as a sort of guardian spirit for the students of the Emerald Lion House. But you guys go to the fountain.
Yeah. Just catch it immediately, try to like breathe underwater, stick her head underwater. Did you last night before going to bed fill up your bathtub and try to breathe underwater?
Oh, she definitely took a soaked in a like Epsom salt bath, because holy shit, climbing up a waterfall hurts. And she tried to breathe underwater. Was I able to breathe underwater last night?
Yes.
Ooh.
A pass the water trial?
Or something like that. You're not sure, but you dunk your head into the little fountain river, and sure enough, you can breathe.
Aqua! I try to stay underwater.
You still can't talk underwater, but
Cashin, just let my music speak for you.
Fine.
Toss a coin to the fountain.
oh my god! Every song that Elena writes is just some slight variation on Toss a Coin to Your Witcher.
Oh, fishmonger! Oh, fishmonger!
Oh god.
Eventually, after a few minutes of playing, sure enough, coming out gracefully dancing through the water is the mermaid Aqua.
Told you so.
Well, shit.
Good morning, Aqua.
Good morning! You brought friends!
They didn't believe that I had met you.
That's not true.
I had invested in like 5 gold because I probably betted. Or no, Elena's the one that probably would have bet. Whoever. They get 5 gold for me.
I'll take it. Easy money. Oh, wait. My character sheet's closed because I refreshed.
So my name is Katrin.
I'm Bezrin. Hello.
I can breathe underwater now.
I can't.
She introduces herself to you all, and I'm sorry, I distracted myself.
Hey, Aqua. What do you know of the water elemental near the waterfalls?
Oh, yeah, it's the source of that particular waterfall. It's been there for a long time.
I touched it.
And now she can breathe underwater.
I kid, it's not that. That's impressive.
Well, someone said something about how I couldn't swim up the waterfall, so I climbed up the waterfall just to prove them wrong. And then I was like,
literally,
well,
no one said that. That was there.
It was in my head, okay?
That just sounds like self-doubt.
It's not self-doubt, it's self-motivation. Either way. I was like, I know there's a water elemental here. If I could... Then I got really high, and then I was jettisoned out of the tunnel.
Aqua explains that that encounters with ancient elementals can, assuming they don't end in violence, can sometimes the elementals can, whether intentionally or unintentionally, impart certain magical boons to people, just through an excessive amount of magical energies being transferred out from the ancient elementals.
Oh, hell yeah.
So for instance, if somebody were to encounter an ancient fire elemental and be improved by the encounter, then they may be either resistant or to fire, or may be able to
They can
have
breathe fire.
Potentially. Maybe their lungs will be bothered by intense smoke, or perhaps they have a higher heat tolerance, or can even pass through fire.
I need to go find an ancient earth, fire, and air elemental ASAP. Do you know where any are, Aqua?
No.
That was so interesting. I wish I could talk to it. Can you talk to it?
Yeah, actually, I can. If is able to communicate, which it should be able to. I would just have to
wanna?
actually reach it, and I haven't. I mean, for one thing, I haven't been able to get up the main big waterfall. I'm not that big of a climber, and it's kind of hard for me to climb. What with the whole lack of legs.
Would you want to be strapped onto my back and I get you there?
I could give you legs. If you wanted to.
You can kind of like see the ellipses appear over her
Oh, no,
head.
I
as She's
can't.
like processing
Why would
information.
I
Why
can't.
would I want legs?
She has a tail.
I take it back and didn't say anything. Sorry, I forgot shape change was a self thing, not a.
Oh. Thought you were like gonna just permanently give her legs. Like, what?
No, it was gonna be temporary. Also,
Do you want?
I now have sending.
Oh, that's useful.
I took out catnap and put it in sending.
Oh, thank you.
Because
Do you
also
want
I
to
can't
be-
get message. I can't have versatility.
Oh. Do you want to be strapped to my back and I take you to it?
Would you be able
I
to
mean-
fit?
Yes, it wasn't a tight fit.
She's pretty like she's much taller than Katrin, but she's also quite slim. So
It'd be just fine.
I would need to get permission from my elders first, but
Oh. Would they be mad if you told them I touched the water elemental?
I mean they'd probably just be more impressed that you survived the ordeal or even got to its chamber at all.
It could have killed me, I guess, in that moment. I don't know why it jettisoned me out. I mean, like, if it was really violent, it could have, spun me into a tornado. I couldn't have probably got out of it.
Yeah. But the thing is, ancient elementals can kind of be a little temperamental.
No, a temperamental.
And while you were the
elemental.
first like organic encounter it probably had in a couple hundred years, there's no telling that another encounter so soon would not just make it angry.
Does it get lonely?
They don't really have a concept of companionship. They're kind of like one with the earth. So, they don't really need companionship when they are all of the element around it.
Can you teach me to talk to it?
I could probably teach you Aquan. It's a little weird for land dwellers to speak.
Would
It's
it
fine.
help that she can now breathe underwater?
Probably not.
Maybe a little.
Oh,
At least
really?
as far as practicing. I mean,
Is it
like,
best
actually
spoken
learning?
underwater?
It's more clear underwater
Oh, interesting.
because most things that speak it live in the water.
Well, yes. I just didn't know that there would be a difference. That's interesting.
Kind of the way that sound is carried through water is different than it is through normal air.
It's like chilling your R's in Elvish.
Is there any place other than the water fountain that you like to chill?
She kind of thinks for a moment, it's like, what does chill mean? Where I like to get cold?
No. Where you like to hang out. You like to spend your time relaxing.
She says that her preferred place is either here at the fountain or down in the cave network under the river that her people tend to also hang out at.
Oh, can I go
Or-
there?
I mean, if you can fight the rapids.
You, my dear, you just issued her a challenge.
Tell me where these rapids are.
Oh.
Of course.
She kind
knows?
of.
Maybe they gave me like a boon of swimming too.
She
I could
explained.
float.
She explains the general area where she thinks it is in relation to the main gigantic, like 100-foot wide river.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you should tell them I'm coming.
This is me, the DM, telling you this. If you tried to go down there, it's not going to end well. You're going to get carried off by the water.
Fine.
I'm sorry, but the water is too fast.
Okay. Fine.
Not even with a minimum 24.
That is a pretty high number.
I mean, yeah.
You mean tell me I couldn't even hold on with the minimum 20?
I'm just saying, like, think like the massive rivers that like feed into like Niagara Falls and like that kind of current, and then try fighting it.
I can't imagine being someone with 24 strength. Somehow I'm here.
You did create a monster. And Ian, you let it happen.
And I can say that that monster gets carried off by the river until she ends up at shore, and then has to wobble her way back to the town.
I just wanted to meet the mermaid people. Fine. Wanted to find Atlantis.
Well, I'll leave you with the mermaid. I'm going to see if anyone would like a jam session with the students.
Pick up Sophia.
Hmm?
Sophia?
Who's that?
You know, the one that does the invisible.
Oh,
ear-splitting
yes.
thing.
I'll go around to the 3 houses. Roll credits. And I'll see if anyone's up to a jam session.
And I whisper into the mermaid, I just don't want to be seen swimming in a water. Because it's cool because you're a beautiful mermaid, but I'm just an awkward dwarf, so it would be weird for me. Is there anywhere where an awkward dwarf can swim in the water that you like? Multiple times, because this is where we're going to practice, and you're going to teach me Aquan. I mean, if you want to.
I mean, so she says that she could probably, with some assistance from her people, get up main waterfall. They're kind of their warrior cast, their thunder warriors can through like the magically enchanted items are able to traverse vertically up the waterfalls.
Oh, okay. So they have the Zelda stuff.
Yes.
Fuck that. I don't care if you talk to him. I want to talk to him. Okay, fine.
And she could probably procure some kind of item to assist you with swimming.
Oh. I just want to be able to understand him and like be like, thanks for the water breathing. But also it would take me so much time to learn Aquan that it would give him time to chill. So we're not like poking him the next day.
But she says she'll go talk to her people to see what she can do.
Cool. Could I use this special enchanted item to get through the rapids?
Probably.
I won't. It's your private land. Understandable. Or private water.
Yeah, she kind of explains that through druidic magics, they are able to have like their shamans go through and like hollow out pieces of earth underneath deeper waters, and basically create little kind of like checkpoint conclaves where they're like,
Interesting.
yeah.
It's really cool.
And they're not the only ones. There are like in the other like large rivers in Europa, there are more semi-related groups of mermaids that do the same. Of like going through and making sure the rivers are clear of bad influences, corrupting forces, evil monsters.
Oh, so they're like little protectors. That's so cute.
Mm-hmm.
I go around the various dormitory households and I make it known that there will be a musical jam session in the gardens around noon.
All right.
And,
Alana's basically going to fucking play the conductor.
No, just jam session, like musical minds getting together.
Drum circle.
Yeah.
And at this point, I, Deidre, feel really sick and awful, and I think I'm gonna bounce. Actually, I'm so sorry.
I'm starting to fall asleep myself. We're about.
I was
20
going to
minutes
say
in.
I think this would be like a good place to end it.
Yeah.
Okay. That works.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us on this slightly slower but world building session. And catch us
Sorry
next
for-
time where student interactions will happen.
Yay! Goodbye.